It's December, it's Christmas time, and today we're going to look at some of the most popular houseplants for Christmas. The most popular of all is probably the poinsettia. This is it here with these coloured bracts. The two I've got here are a white one and a pink one, and obviously the most popular one is red. And if you've got a warm house, this is probably the best one to choose because it's a plant that comes from the tropical climates. The thing this plant really hates is drafts, and quite a few people get them damaged on the way home. They buy them in a nice warm garden centre or a supermarket, and then on the way to the car they get blasted by cold air and you start them turning brown. So for goodness sake, protect them, put them in a sleeve, or make sure they don't get blasted before you get them home. They will actually take reasonably cold temperatures, but they don't like changes in temperatures, they don't like drafts, so that's the main thing. And do not water them on the foliage, water them from below. For all Christmas houseplants, this is the most useful weapon you can use, which is basically a saucer. You fill the saucer with water and you put your plant in it, and once it's had a good drink after an hour or so, you can tip the water out of the saucer, and that's the best way to do it. Try to keep water off the foliage because it just tends to encourage rotting and mold. The next one we're going to look at is the houseplant azalea. I've got a collection here of red, pink, purple, white. Again, this is another plant that is best watered from below. Don't water the foliage of the flowers, it tends to make them go brown. That saucer is a perfect weapon again for watering azaleas. Fill them up and let them soak up from below. Now, the thing about these azaleas is as soon as you bring them into a warm room, all the flowers will come out. They won't last all that long if you've got a very warm, centrally heated room. So the best thing to do is to keep them somewhere cool, like in a porch, or bring them in when you've got guests in and then put them out in the porch, and then they'll last for a long time. And then once they've finished flowering, you can actually put them outside from around about April, May onwards, and you can leave them outside or even dig them temporarily into the garden for the summer, and they should bud up again. But you'll need to bring them in before it gets really cold. They're not hardy enough outside. The next one we're looking at is cyclamen. Here we've got a big range of flower colours and sizes. This is one of the big pink flowered ones here with nice patterned foliage. And these will produce a long succession of flowers. You'll see them coming up from underneath here. Again, a saucer is a good way to water these, or if you've got a planted arrangement like this, water into the soil, not onto the foliage. And last but not least, these are hyacinths which have been forced into flower to come in earlier than normally. These would normally flower in the garden in March and April. This is the state to get them at, where they're just starting to show the flower buds coming. Again, keep them cool. As soon as you bring them into a warm room, they will shoot up and start flowering within a day or two. The key is not to bring them in too early. The great thing about hyacinths is the scent. They'll perfume the room, and if you're clever enough and bring them in maybe a couple of days before Christmas, you should get them flowering at Christmas and Boxing Day and so on. But this is the stage to buy them at, where you can just see the flowers at a green stage before they show colour. So in summary, main tips for Christmas houseplants: water them from below, not on the foliage, don't overwater them, and keep them on the cool side. They don't really like being kept in centrally heated rooms for a very long time. And we've got a lovely selection of all these plants on sale now at Glendoick.